Hello everyone. In today's session, we will be covering creating a details transaction or order entry form. And these are basically worksheet forms, and these are most complex in terms of basically the steps or procedure being lengthy because the steps required will have basically three steps to design a list, header, and a line views. So basically to familiarize in order to, so that you can design it, you can open the purchase order, that is all purchase order form, that is available in accounts payable, and then you can open the purchase orders and all purchase order. So we'll just open by going to accounts payable, minimize vendors, and go to the purchase order and all purchase order form. So basically, in this one, what we need to cover is first part of pattern is basically very similar to the details master pattern, which we have already covered in previous session, where we need to summarize the details slightly, and then we'll need to continue with our resort booking order table. But again, in this recipe or in this procedure, is required in this procedure we will be covering a journal basically procedure. So here you can see that this one is all purchase order form, and once you click over it, so it will turn into the details master pattern here, but it has a line view and a header view. You can see at the top level, so both views are available. So this is kind of a same pattern we need to develop. So just close the browser, and we'll just start with our procedures. So whatever we do here will can be used also for any of the worksheet type table, which we have already covered. Since now only depth things are, we have covered resort group, resort parameter, resort table. So only the left thing are resort booking table, which contain booking ID, customer account, customer name, booking status, booking date requested, and booking date confirmed. And the line where we have booking ID, which will be basically in relationship with our header table. So these are resort ID and then booking ID. So the resorts can be multiple on the line level, but booking ID will be the same. So and for each line level, booking status can also be a different one. So we'll just start here by adding a new item. So just quickly start with our training video here. Just add a new item here, and that item will be of form type, and just give it a name, and PKR resort booking table. So that will be our basically header, resort booking table. So there is resort booking table. So same name we have applied to our form as well. Okay, and now what we can do is just drag our resort booking table to the data source node on the left pane. And once you have placed it there, we need to set few properties of this data source. So just open the properties here on the right hand side, and here we have insert at end and insert if empty, turn to no. Okay, and once we have done this, then we need to drag our line table also to data source node. So this will also be placed. So what we can do here in the other data source, we can that is a booking line data source, we need to insert if empty to no. Okay, but we will not be turning insert at end no, because we need it to be yes, and that will insert automatically a new record whenever a user focus to the next row. So now what we can do is select the booking line data source, which is already selected, and we can go to one more property, which is join source property, and there we can select the header table, a resort booking table, as a join source here. So basically we are not specifying any other join information beyond only the name is being specified, and that will suffice. Why? Because it will use foreign key relation defined already in the child table, so that will automatically be used, so we don't need to define any other property for this purpose. And now what we can do is just go to the line data source, and in the methods just right click and override init value. Okay, init value method. Okay, in the init value method, just after super call, what we need to do here, just remove the documentation, and after super call I need to just mention here uh, resort booking line dot booking ID to be populating from our resort booking table. Yes, this one, and then booking ID. So that need to be populating or defaulting from the header itself. And also we need to override the another method similarly like in our past example, and that will be our create method, so that it turns to the details view. Here before super call we can just refer to our element, which is our form view option helper, and this then we need to set view option, form view option, and this enum need to be details as default. Okay, once we have done it, just save it and close this, and let's now we are at the pen level again. Different pens are open, and now we need to just form design tab, and we need to set few properties like caption. So basically it is fine to select a caption from our table. So we need to make it like booking order details, and also if we can see booking table, and here we have not set any label on the line level. Also not on the line level. So we'll just open our label here. There is resort booking orders, but somehow we have not set it to our no, basically it is already set, and we can use this label ID and go to our design and put in our caption here. So these will be resort booking orders. or we can make it like resort booking order details as well. So it is up to us. And the data source which need to be selected here, it need to be resort booking table, and title data source also need to be same. Okay, and now what we can do is applying a detailed transaction pattern over here. Just right click and apply pattern. Go to the details transaction pattern, and it will just guide you. Okay, and it is asking for an action pen and a navigation list group and main tab group. So we need to just follow as the pattern is suggesting. Just right click over the design node, and then add an action pen control. Just move it a bit, and the action pen is added. And here we need to make it like header action pen. Okay, and the group also need to be added here. Okay, right click new and go to the group, and what will be the name for it? Navigation list group. Okay, and now if we see the pattern, two things are already fulfilled, although the navigation list is still incomplete. And basically we'll have two action pans, one for header and one for line. So that's why we have named this as a header action pan, and for the line we'll follow that one. And then now here in the navigation list group, we need to add a quick filter control. Just right click and go to the new and go to quick filter. Okay, give it a name like navigation quick filter. Okay, now the grid is missing. Just right click over navigation list group, go to the new and add a grid, and this need to be navigation grid. Okay, and now we need to also set the data source here, and the data source will need to be the booking table. And here we need to just select few fields like booking ID and name field. Booking ID and basically customer name and customer account. These are important fields, so that need to be just drag and drop to the navigation grid. The booking ID, customer, and customer account should be before customer name. Booking ID, customer account, and customer name. These are two fields which I have placed here, and so in the quick filter control, now we need to select the target grid, target control. Sorry, target control need to be navigation grid, and default column. So that need to be booking ID, and then we need to just now see there is a tab missing here, Navigation grid is complete, navigation quick control, navigation list group is complete, header action. So now on the design node we can see the tab is missing. So we can just add a tab control here. Just go to the new and select the tab control, and it has we'll just name it as a main tab. Once we name it, we can add pages. There need to be two pages: detail panel tab page and grid panel tab page. So we'll just add these two pages. So just first add these so that we should not forget it. So just name it details panel tab page, and the other one will be the grid panel tab page. Okay, so these will be named, and so now main tab is complete. Now tab page will need definitely the missing components. Okay, now we need to complete our grid panel tab page, and grid panel tab page, although we added later, but we need to first complete this one. So we need to just add a group here. Just add a group, and this need to be named like grid panel quick filter group, and then we need to also add a grid here. Just right click to the new and add a grid, and just name this grid as main grid. Okay, these are two controls, and then there is a command button also missing. But before that we need to complete main grids property. That need to be data source, and here uh, we need to select the data source as booking table, and then the data group need to be the overview. Okay, and once we are done with this, and then we need to for the grid panel quick filter group here, we need to apply a pattern which is a quick filters pattern. Just right click and apply pattern custom and quick filters. Okay, then we need to add a quick control quick filter control. Okay, that will be quick filter control here. We need to just name it grid panel quick filter, and this control need to be target control need to be our grid here. So the grid name is main grid. So now the pattern which we have added here in the grid panel tab page, so we need to add here a command button basically. So just right click it and add a command button, and give this name as main grid default action. Okay, once we have given it name, then on the main grid we can go to default action. Default action is in the behave this one. In the default action, we need to select main grid default action command button here, and now just minimize it, and so that we are not confused in so many things. And we need to now select a grid panel tab page, which is now complete, and details panel tab page. Now we need to complete this one, and in order to do that, we can see title group is asking for a group control, and then header and line panels need a tab. So we'll just start with the basically in this one we'll start with the group. Just right click and add a new group. Give it a name like details panel title group. Okay, and then add basically string control. Right click, add string control. Okay, once you have added the string control, give it a logical name like details panel header title, and also set the data source property here, and that need to be the line data source in this case, and data method will be the title fees, which is a built-in system method. And now what we can do inside this details panel title group, we can add a group to have a more control. Okay, so what we can do is just right click here. One thing is missing still, but we will follow that later on. Just in details panel title group control, we can add a new group. Okay, and we can name it like details panel status group, and we can just put our booking status. Okay, but this need to be our line level, and that does not mean to be the header level. So just drag booking status into our details panel status here. Okay, and no, basically this need to be our header level. So just delete it and go to the booking status and drop it at this level, booking status. And now we need to just complete header and line panel tab pattern element. Header and line panel tab pattern here. So we'll just add a new tab here, right click and go to the new and add a tab here, and just give it a name like header and line panel tab. Okay, once you have added it, you can add the pages, tab pages. So just add a new tab page here, and give it a name like lines panel tab page. Okay, and Also add another tab page, sorry, and give it a name like header panel tab page. Now header and line tab contains two tab pages, line panel tab page and header panel tab page, although those are incomplete, showing by exclamation sign. Once it is complete, it will show a tick sign. So now what we can do is go to the line panel tab page control, and we can add a tab here. Just right click and go to the new and go to the tab and add a tab here and give it a name like line view tab. Okay, and in this we need to add three tab pages as shown here. So we'll start by adding line view header details, basically the first one, tab page here, and so just right click and add a tab page here. Okay, and give it a name like line view header. Okay, within that just apply a pattern. Sorry, within this one line view tab, just remove this, I think. Okay, within this line view tab, just right click and add a new tab page, and just a moment, new tab page. Okay, within this just give it a name like line view header. Okay, just within line view tab just add three tab pages. Okay, and then the first one, basically if you can see here, line view header details tab page, form tab page, control 1. So this one is representing the first line view header details tab page. So I will just rename this to line view header. Okay, and in this pattern I need to just select a pattern, apply a pattern that will be field and field groups pattern. Okay, so that is now applied, and the label property also need to be set here. So that is the caption property here, that need to be also set here, and that I will just create a new label. Okay, and that need to be the resort booking order details. So that need to be already created, I suppose. Okay, if it is not created, I can create one. I think it is not created, so I will just create one. It will be resort booking order details. Okay, and I will just copy to the ID as well. Okay, just copy this and go to the property, just place this to our line view header tab page. So then we can, so in this line view header we need to drag a few fields, and those need to be from our table level data source, and the fields can be like the field group basically we need to place, so that already we created, and those will be basically booking order dates and details. These two field groups need to be placed in line view header. Okay, booking order dates and details. And then if we can go to the line view tab, we can now see there is line view lines page. So this line view lines page is a form tab page control 2. So we need to just rename this lines view lines page, and then we need to also set the caption property for this to be resort order lines, so that we can copy from here and place in our caption. Okay, this will be resort booking order lines, line view lines page. Okay, then what we can do is, okay, there then we need to also this third one, third is a line view line details. So this line view line details tab page we need to first rename this line view line details tab page, and here we need another label which will be like booking order line details. So booking order so what we can do here, we can remove the word resort because it is already booking order details, so no need to put the word resort as well. Just copy this again, go to the design, and just place it here, and for this the other one booking order line details, we can copy it and paste in the caption of the third tab page. It's a little bit confusing, but just don't lose track of whatever I'm doing it, and just follow me. And then we need to set the data source properties for this one. Just go to the data source, and we can make it like resort booking line here, and previous one. So line view line page also need to have data source to set as booking line for both of these. So then line view lines page here, if we can see, there are few elements missing. One is action pane and one is grid. So what we can do is we can add both of the controls here. go to action pen and rename it lines action pen. Okay, in action pen we can add a button group, and also make it like line action record actions. So please do not set any data source property at this level. It will automatically inherit from its parents. So just leave it as blank. So for here we need to just add buttons to add or remove lines. So but at the main header action pane it is automatically both buttons are automatically added, but at the line level these are not added. So what we can do is under line action record actions group here, we can add a command button called line action add line. So command button line action add line. So this will allow basically user to add and remove the lines to and from the lines grid. So we need to set the property to the command control. So what we can do is go to the property and find the normal image, and here we need to set add line image. Basically this will add a plus sign, plus symbol, and then in the text we need to set a code sys label code, and this will be, which we can also check, it is for add line, and then the command property that need to be new. So that need to be new. Here it is. I have set these three properties here, and then we need to also add another command button. Give it a name like line action remove. Okay, and then we need to also set the properties for this one. The normal image property will need to be delete, and then the text property need to be sys 135131, and this will be for removes a line. Okay, then in the command you can see in the command we will find a delete record here. Okay, delete record is there. Just save all of these changes and check whether anything is missing till now. Okay, these are added. Okay, now grid is missing on line view line page, so we can add a grid here. Just right click. Now our grid is missing here, and we can add a grid here. Right click over this one and go to the new and go to the grid control, and this will be named as lines grid. We need to set the data source property for this. That will be booking line, and the data group need to be set to the overview. That will automatically default all the overview field group on the line level. Okay, so although here we have set the data source explicitly, why? Because at the parent level it was set, but at the line level it is not set automatically. So we have that's why we have set the data source here. So many fields, if basically they are not realistically fit into the grid, so that's why we must have a tab control that will allow basically end user to see more fields basically grouped into a logical order using a field group or data group using the tab pages. So now if we can check line view level here. Now we can see line view, line details, tab page. Here we need to create a tab which is shown as missing. Just right click over it and just go to the new and go to the tab, and in that just type it line view details tab. We can add more tab pages, but here we need only one tab page, so we'll just add a single tab page here and give it a name like line view details tab details, and we need to also apply pattern field and field group here. Just go to the apply and field groups pattern. Okay, and now what we can do is we can pick auto identification and details from the lines data source. So this is our table data source. Just go to the line data source and expand the field group, and here auto identification. So now what we can do is we can see the auto identification here and overview field groups, and these need to be dragged to the line view table details, and then you can see whatever is there. Basically it is a booking ID, resort ID, name and booking status, which is already in overview. So I think there is no need of this auto identification. You can just remove this one, auto identification, and booking ID, resort ID, name and booking status. This is enough. And then we need to cover, just complete our header view of the form. Just check all the nodes are complete, or if there is anything left. Okay, this header panel tab page is incomplete, so we need to just complete it, and we can just right click and add a tab here in this tab page. So for the tab, just go to the tab and okay, and once you add a tab, what name we can we will just leave it as it is, and we can then set this data source property here. and the data source need to be the table level, table header level of data source. And once we have set it, and we can add a new tab page here, and this tab page need to be header details, tab details. And the above one we need to give it header details tab, and the bottom header details tab details is given here. And we can apply a pattern here. That pattern need to be field and field group. Okay, and that need to be details one. This is booking order, that need to be for only details. Just copy this one and place it in this caption. Just a moment, this need to be only for details. Okay, and just find a sys label for this. So this one is okay, and just I will place this for details. Okay, then we can just place here from our booking table. There are two field groups, and those need to be details and booking order dates. Just we need to place them as on this tab page. Okay, so here we need to just rename them, and that need to be header details tab details with this prefix, and same goes with the other one, in order to differentiate. And you can also see, okay, here there is a problem. Just use the same prefix. Okay, and here also for these fields need to be also consistent. And now save the changes. And now there is the step of creating our menu item. Just go ahead on the display menu item, add a new item, and select display menu item, and give it a name like PKR resort booking order table. Okay, resort booking order table, and add it. And the label which will you be using here will be the same label as resort booking table label, that is here, not here but rather here. Okay, and the same will be using there was one thing I think. Okay, in this menu item we need to also select the object type is by default form, but PKR resort booking table. Okay, object type is selected, and also there need to be one more property here, which is form view option. So form view option need to be also grid here by default, so that we can get a list view whenever the form is open. And then we need to also select on the table or booking table, we need to select the form we just created, form ref. Go to the form ref property and put the name of resort booking order table as a form ref. And now we need to add this menu item to our menu. So just go to the booking order table and just drag it to the booking orders submenu, and now resort is available, setup is available. So these four submenu, rather three submenus are now already done. We'll just save it. There was one more thing which I just saw, maybe just open this resort table. Okay, not this one, booking table. So now here you can see there is some problem in this booking order details. Resort booking order details. Just check with this label file. Resort booking order. Resort booking order details. Resort. Oh yes, I have removed the resort word. So I need to just also replace this one. Resort booking order details. Order details. So need to be just replaced. So that will remove the resort word here. Just reopen this form again so that it will reflect the changes. Yes, now it is showing me correctly. Just close most of the things and build the project, and then preview the changes. Now we can open the user interface, and we can see that in the submenu of booking orders now, resort booking orders form is now displayed, or menu item is displayed. Just click it so that our new form is being shown here. So since there are no existing booking orders, so just we can start by creating a new one. You can see that by default the lines view is shown. If you switch to the header view, so it will show the booking order number, status, and there are dates, although there is a problem in the label of dates. One is, I think, requested, the other one is confirmed, which will fix also. But also you can see here the dates label is missing. It is only showing date, and then the booking order number is shown, and then there is a booking order lines view available, and also there is a booking order line details tab and tab pages. So this is how we have implemented so far, and we'll just need to fix this one, and that I will do it separately. But remember, from wherever, I mean, if it is EDT and then table level fees, we need to fix there. Just I will start here. Let me check. So booking date requested, and if we can see here, EDT booking date requested and booking date confirmed. These are two EDTs. Just go to the date EDT. So basically it extend translate, but we have not set a label for this. That need to be set. So I will just select booking date confirmed and booking date requested. Booking date confirmed. Okay, booking date confirmed and booking date requested. That also need to be set here. Just copy this booking date confirmed and put the label. You can also put the label on the table field level. It is up to you. But if you put on the EDT level, wherever this EDT is being used, so the label will be also used there. Just let me open the label file and booking date requested. I will just save the changes. So apart from this, what was the other thing? Booking order number. The booking order number. Okay, so we can remove the word the, and it will be only booking order number. No need of putting the word the. Okay, and what else? Okay, booking order number, status. I think that's it. And we'll just build it and once again review our changes. So now you can see that our changes to the booking date requested and date confirm, and then we have removed the word that is now reflected on this one. And let me just try to put uh, some sample booking order number. Just give a requested date, for example. Cannot be a past date. Cannot be a past date. Okay. I think the condition is reversed here. Booking date requested is in future, and this is also, but I think the condition is reversed. So let me check where we have done the mistake. So just open the booking table and validate right. Booking date confirmed. If it is greater than today, no, it is wrong, and it should be less than today. Then only this should be triggered, because the future date should be allowed. So uh, if it is less than today, then means the validation should fail. So this was wrong here. I just fixed it, and let me again build it. So once again, we'll just create a new booking order, and just let me add a date, and now you can see there is no error or validation issue. Just add a booking order number here, and just add a new line. You can see the default value is already copied to the line level as well. And resort ID, just select any of the resort, and you can see the default name is now also copied. And just there is a status which will leave blank, and so line number must be filled in. This is the error, and just try to save it. Yes, line number issue is there. Well, the booking order number is defaulted, but line number was made mandatory, and that line number basically will need to be through number sequencing. So that will follow later on, and so far the things are complete, and only few things are left. Allow edit is no, allow edit on create is also no, and mandatory is yes. So these are the properties, and visible is also no. So this need to be through number sequencing, which we will cover definitely in future. For now, this form is almost complete as it is seen, and I will just remove the line, and it is working. If you can switch to the header view. No, now header view is also showing, and line view is also shown. So that's it for now, and I hope you must have enjoyed and learned a few more things.